The thing I like about the wars is that
The songs. Is
the
that what you
songs
like?
are great, the movies are great, but the thing is, it makes me feel good because I get to see our country supporting the people who go to fight these wars. You know, like I travel a lot in airports, and there would be military people all the time, and you'd see these guys in business suits and whatever, in bathrooms or hallways, and they would say to these guys in their fatigues, going, "Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service." These white business guys in suits, "Thank you for your service." And I always wanted to go up behind them as they said this to the military person. I wanted to do this while they were saying that. That's what I wanted to do. Hey, thank you for your service, because that's all lip service. That's this guy in a business suit who's just repeating propaganda that his government has told him to say.
You never know. That might be an oil executive
Might be an
who
oil
really
executive.
is actually getting a lot out of it. Just saying.
And so, you know, there was a time that during the Iraq War, people didn't want to sign up. Go figure. People didn't want to sign up anymore after pretty much everyone realized what it was, an illegal war of aggression, a war crime, all that stuff. And, you know, but the terrorists, they're the bad guys because they kill innocent people. And so that they had to come up with these bonuses to get these guys to enlist.
Essentially signing bonuses.
Right, because we wouldn't do a draft, because if we did a draft, people would protest and war would be over. So they can't have a draft anymore, right? Because the draft is just a big money. War is just a big money-making opportunity for everybody, right? Not only the oil companies, but the military-industrial complex too, Wall Street. Everybody makes a lot of money with war. Those people makes a lot of money with war.
Also, simultaneous with the signing bonuses, we lowered our standards for the soldiers, so the requirement for a high school diploma was no longer there.
Right.
Certain criminal activity were
forgiven.
Completely forgiven.
Yes.
So what you end up with now in a veteran population, they're starting already in a rough spot, and they're in a worse spot now as veterans. So, just saying.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, so they had to give all these bonuses to these guys to sign up. I remember when I went to Afghanistan, there were guys there doing their fourth and fifth tour. They did those things where guys were in their 40s that had already been retired. They made them come back. Mm-hmm. They made them. These guys pilots and stuff. They're like, I don't want to be here. And so guess what they're doing now? So all those bonuses they paid to those guys to go make them go back to Iraq, they want it back.
What?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
You didn't hear about this?
What?
Stars and Stripes, thousands of soldiers forced to repay enlistment bonuses a decade after going to war.
This was in the California National Guard. They gave out a bunch of bonuses, signing bonuses, and evidently they gave them out to some people who technically didn't qualify.
Technically, they say didn't qualify, but they gave it to them anyway.
By the way, we're only talking about $10,000 per person signing bonuses. Not very much fucking money.
Sometimes some people got 20.
Yeah, but still, not a lot of money to the Pentagon. A lot of money to those veterans.
10 grand.
So what they did was, this is very recently, they sent bills to these veterans saying, you owe us your signing bonus back, and if you don't pay us, we're going to make you pay fees and interest. It will start compounding like tomorrow.
Wait.
So this went on until the LA Times got wind of it, exposed it, and just today.
So wait, hold on. You're getting ahead. We have to tell the story.
Yeah, there's a lot to tell.
So investigations have determined that the lack of oversight allowed for widespread fraud and mismanagement by California Guard officials under pressure to meet enlistment targets. It sounds.
What, did these people work for Wells Fargo?
They work for Wells Fargo? Yeah. This is exactly what I was going to say. It sounds exactly like the way the banks run banking now. They pressure the people underneath them to meet quota goals, and when they encourage them to do it illegally. So when they do it illegally, their stock prices go up at Wells Fargo. They get to make more money, and then when they get caught, they fire those people who they told to do it. And this is exactly what's happening here. They pressured the recruiters and California Guard officials to meet these enlistment targets, and so they did. And then now they want, hey, So when they were meeting those targets, when they needed the soldiers, nobody said anything. But now that they don't need them anymore, so short of troops to fight Iraq and Afghanistan a decade ago, the California National Guard enticed thousands of soldiers with bonuses of $15,000 or more to re-enlist and go to frickin' war for $15,000. Oh my God. So one guy refinanced his home mortgage to repay $25,000 in re-enlistment bonuses and $21,000 in student loan repayments that the Army says he should not have received. He had to remortgage his home. A guy who went to war for us and was given these bonuses, now they want him back. Now they want to screw up his life. These bonuses were used to keep people in, said Christopher Van Meter, a 42-year-old former Army captain and Iraq veteran from Manteca, California, who says, people like me just got screwed. Here's another person who got screwed. Susan Haley, a Los Angeles native and former Army Master Sergeant who deployed to Afghanistan in 2008, said she sends the Pentagon $650 a month, a quarter of her family's income, to pay down the $20,000 in bonuses that the Guard says were given to her improperly.
Okay, so I just need a little clarification. Did these people end up serving in the military after they got their bonuses?
Yes. She said they'll get their money back, but I want those years back. She said, referring to her 6 years of re-enlistment.
Okay, so they want the money back because they went to war?
Three grand a year.
No,
that's like $3 grand a year they want back from her.
They got too much money to go fight the war?
No. I mean, you're right. But what they're saying is that in terms of the letter of the law, of the policy, that these bonuses were specifically set up for certain people.
Yeah, so they're saying...
And a lot of people got them erroneously who didn't meet those criteria. And so what they're saying is retroactively, they're saying, well, you shouldn't have gotten this bonus in the first place, so give it back.
And they're like, no, I wouldn't have enlisted in the first place if I wasn't going to get this frickin' bonus. And then they're like, well, that's your problem. Tough, go pound sand. We want the money back.
And also, what kind of fucking monster asks people who just spent 6 years in their life in war?
I think we know who. The United States government. That's the monster.
Here's actually the problem here.
Let me go one more. One more slide. The problem, according to Stars and Stripes, the problem offers a dark perspective on the Pentagon's use of hefty cash incentives to fill its all-volunteer force during the longest era of warfare in the nation's history. Even Guard officials concede that taking back the money from military veterans is distasteful.
Wow.
Distasteful, not like unbelievably, horribly punitive to people who you're supposed to be honoring. All the frickin'
Wait a minute, not criminal?
All the frickin' lip service that this country gives. Every goddamn football game with those motherfuckers coming out there with their stealth bombers flying over us and everybody, oh, war is so great. And the Marines out there and everybody's saluting and all the yellow ribbons on your fucking gas-guzzling cars. All that bullshit is all bullshit.
You mean
it's all fucking bullshit.
Are you telling me all those times that I've seen politicians on camera wearing a flag on their lapel?
Bullshit. Where are those guys? Where are the guys with the flag on their lapel? When these guys come back crippled and they can't even see a doctor, and now they want their fucking bonus money back. Great country. This is from Soldiers and Stripes. At the end of the day, the soldiers ended up paying the largest price. No kidding. He said, we'd be more than happy to absolve these people of their debts. We just can't do it. We'd be breaking the law.
Oh, my God.
Which is bullshit. So,
you'd be more than happy. You can do anything you want to do to absolve people's debts. It's not even their debt. It's not a debt.
It's not a debt. No, it's like
not a debt.
It's like saying I just give you $10 and like 10 years later I go, I shouldn't have given you that money. I want it back with interest. That's the kind of fucking shit that just went down.
And
by the way,
what happened today, Robert?
Today, the Secretary of Defense, Ash Carter, said we're going to put a freeze on this. He didn't say we're suspending it altogether.
Right,
he
just
said,
a freeze.
He said we're going to put a freeze on this
until after the election.
Okay, until after the election, which is outrageous in and of itself. But what's there are two things that are really infuriating. Actually, three. So there are three things that are really infuriating. First of all, just fucking end it. Second of all, the fact that their internal auditors never caught this and brought it to his attention, and he didn't do something about it in the first place. He had to be made to do something by the Los Angeles Times to do this is infuriating enough. And the other thing is the size of the Pentagon is such that these middle management bean counters get ahead by pulling bullshit like this. There are officers who were making their bones by coming up with this little accounting piece of cruelty.
To screw over their own soldiers.
And then lastly,
why would you ever join the military? There's people in the military right now, and they see this. Why would you? Why? I don't understand why anybody goes in the military. It's a big lie, the military, you guys. I don't know if you know this. It's a big lie.
The last thing I want to say is, by the way, this as a recruitment scandal isn't even close. Okay, because recruiters lie to kids all the
time.
Fucking time.
That's right.
Because they have the same. They may have lesser incentives than they do during wartime, but they have always had
incentives.
They've always had poor incentives, and basically been told, like, if you ever want to make it above first sergeant or above sergeant first class, you will meet your quotas from this dumpy little piece of shit office. You will meet those quotas, or you will never be back on a base again. You will be doing this crappy job forever. And so they've always had bad incentives. They've always lied to 18-year-old kids. They're awful. And so, and by the way, we have an all-volunteer army. A lot of these kids would sign up anyway. They believe in it.
So all I'm saying is, hey, I really respect your service. Now give me my fucking money.